Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller, Most Honorable P.J. Patterson, Chairman and other officers of the People's National Party, Ambassador Sidney Williams, U.S. Congresswoman, Honorable Maxine Waters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen all. Tonight we are gathered to pay tribute to a unique political leader who has made an indelible mark on the politics of Jamaica, the Caribbean, and indeed the world. In the process, she has become a symbol of achievement for millions and an inspiration to many to believe in their own capacity to defy the odds and achieve their own greatness. Indeed, Portia is one of a kind. We have in Parliament and elsewhere recognized Portia's remarkable journey from her beginnings in rural Jamaica to the highest office of the land through sheer grit, determination, hard work, and courage. No one can deny her unique contribution to the social and political life of Jamaica, as evidenced by her achievement to become the 4th President of the People's National Party and Jamaica's first female Prime Minister in a political process that has historically been dominated by men. Global recognition followed when Time magazine ranked her in the top 100 of the most influential women in the world. As the political representative of a constituency comprised of some of the most challenging urban communities, Portia Simpson Miller earned a well-deserved reputation as the veritable embodiment of the PNP's historical mission and advocacy of social equality by her work to uplift all who were marginalized by history and society. Tonight, however, I'll focus on her role in Jamaica's economic recovery between 2012 and 2016. In 2012, Portia Simpson Miller was returned as Prime Minister, and she entrusted me with perhaps the most critical ministry, that of Finance, and gave me unfailing support for all the measures that were required to take Jamaica through what I think all recognize was a most difficult period. We inherited a Jamaican economy which had gone through 4 years of negative growth, and within that period, Jamaica's debt had more than doubled and reached untenable levels. The number of Jamaicans living in poverty had also doubled during those 4 years. Even more critical was the fact that Jamaica, after failing 4 consecutive IMF tests, had unilaterally broken off contact with the International Monetary Fund, and as a consequence had lost the confidence and respect of the international financial community. It was against that background that we launched the Economic Recovery Program, and critical to the success of this program was the renegotiation of a new IMF agreement. The record shows that she went on to preside over some of the most definitive growth-inducing reforms of the Jamaican economy, and was able to do so despite the many difficulties involved without losing and I think this is the critical point, without losing the essential trust and respect of the Jamaican people. At every step along the way, Jamaicans trusted and believed in Portia's basic commitment to the building of a Jamaica that offered equal opportunity to all Jamaicans. Her administration laid the foundations for sound public finances in Jamaica and established a firm platform for growth. As her Minister of Finance, I can personally testify to the value of her support and the importance of her credibility and goodwill among the Jamaican people in ensuring the effective implementation of the economic reform program. However, the best efforts of Portia Simpson Miller, the Jamaican people, and myself might not have been enough to take Jamaica from the brink of bankruptcy and restore macroeconomic stability and a platform for growth had we not had friends. With the benefit of hindsight, I cannot think of a friend who Jamaica owes a greater debt of gratitude than Congresswoman Maxine Waters. A member of the Democratic Party and the most senior of the 12 African American women currently serving in the United States Congress and a former chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. From Jamaica's standpoint, a most important milestone in her illustrious career was her elevation to the ranking member of the House Financial Services Committee in 2012. The same year, we launched Jamaica's Economic Recovery Program. History has already recorded, through the account of Christine Lagarde, Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, some of the events of, I dare say, fateful events of December 2012, when despite a debt of close to 150% of GDP in Jamaica at that time, and despite the fact that our international reserves were falling well below generally acceptable levels, negotiations with the International Monetary Fund were still stalled. Such was the trust deficit that then enshrouded Jamaica. That was when we reached out to our friends in the US Congress, among whom Maxine Waters was particularly instrumental. That December, in fact on Christmas Eve, I believe, Maxine led a team of women from the Congress to see the managing director of the International Monetary Fund. I believe there's one man present. We won't call his name tonight. But the man present wasn't a member of the Congress, but was Carl Masters, who is here tonight. She led a team of women to meet the managing director. But after determining that our administration was serious about doing the necessary reforms, she persuaded the IMF management that Jamaica was serious. And I can say that at that point, the negotiations entered a new phase, a new business-like phase, which ultimately ended in a successful completion of an agreement. So tonight, on behalf of the people of Jamaica, I want to place on record our profound appreciation to an outstanding citizen of the world for the role that she played to help our country on the path to economic recovery. Thank you, Maxine. You know, a striking feature of that historical moment was the central importance of three women. Portia, as Prime Minister, who reached out to Maxine. Maxine, Jamaica's friend in Washington, and Christine Lagarde, Managing Director of the island. There is no doubt that the strength of the women tipped the scales in Jamaica's favor at that time. Nevertheless, Jamaica's economic and social problems persist. We will have to face up to the reality that we are still a long way from the new economy and the new society that we envision. We are part of the English-speaking Caribbean, which is still the only region yet to recover fully from the global economic crash of 2008. The G20, which recently met in Hamburg and which comprises the largest economies in the world, was formed after the Great Recession of 2008 during the administration of President Barack Obama in order to help guide the world out of the crisis. As the most recent G20 summit shows, world recovery is underway, and, however, economic development concerns affecting the developing world are being marginalized from the agenda of the G20. This is potentially devastating to us in the Caribbean and in Jamaica, where we face not only a continuing crisis rooted in high public debt. In fact, we still remain the most highly indebted region of the world. On top of that, there's turmoil in the world economy caused by many factors. The prospect of Brexit, which is going to deprive the Caribbean of a traditional bridgehead into the European market. There is also the uncertainty surrounding U.S. international economic policy, and we have to confront also the rise of new centers of power, influence, and authority in Asia and Latin America, and determine our capacity to influence them. Perhaps not since World War II has the future of the global political and economic order seemed so uncertain. For a country like ours, in a region of small states, friends and friendships will be all the more critical if we are to be able to shape some of these world developments in a way that helps us fulfill our mission of building a Jamaica that will work for all Jamaicans in delivering the benefits of modern life. We will realize our vision much faster with friends like Congresswoman Maxine Waters. As a member of the California State Assembly, she worked for the divestment of state pension funds from any business active in then apartheid South Africa. Another indicator of her commitment to a more just world came in 2009 when she co-sponsored with Representative John Conyers a bill calling for reparations for slavery to be paid to Black Americans. That struggle continues here, and I'm looking straight at Professor Beckles, who is a staunch advocate, as are all of us in this regard. Those of us who follow U.S. politics can only be inspired by her fearless crusade against the economic policies which concentrate wealth in the 1% at the top, but which reduce the middle class to indebtedness and criminalizes the poor. There's a saying in Jamaica that good friends are better than pocket money. In saluting Portia tonight, we also salute her friends who stepped up in some of the most perilous times. And we affirm that in this increasingly globalized world, the struggle for social justice and economic advance is one that must unite all peoples wherever they live and wherever they work. Portia has completed her phase of the battle in the political process. We salute her, and we salute the friends that were there when friends were few. Now we enter into a new phase of the battle to gain the benefits of justice and modernity for our people. I serve notice that we will forever treasure the value of the friendships, and indeed we will do everything to sustain the friendships we have across all parts of the world. As they say, a luta continua, the struggle continues, and we will not leave anyone behind. Thank you, and God bless you all.